Hello, Marla.
Hello, Miss Calvin.
How are you?
I'm not that great.
Well, you don't seem too happy to be here today.
Because I'm not.
I'm very happy to see you, though. I'm glad that you called in and your grandmother to kind of talk about some of the issues that I hear you guys are experiencing lately.
Yeah, because my grandmother acting crazy again.
Can you tell me more about that?
She's back to the same old thing, threatening to call DHS, having me removed from her home, you know, us arguing all the time, same thing.
What do you think that is causing all this?
Because she acts crazy and she won't leave me alone. She just want to argue about nonsense.
Can you go in a little bit of more detail about that?
Cause every little thing, like I tell her to give me my space, to leave me alone, to let me have my time, and she just want to keep talking and talking, and then we get into an argument.
Okay. Well, I have spoken with your grandmom a little bit about some of the things, some of her concerns about what's been happening with you guys. And, she kind of expressed that you're having difficulties following the rules that she's giving you.
Her rules are stupid.
Okay. Um, you may feel that way, and other things that she has talked about,
So you think it's
school.
not stupid that she buys me clothes and then tell me I can't wear them?
Well, Marlon, that's why y'all here. Y'all here to kind of discuss some of these things that you may feel is stupid, but Grandma feels that as an adult, she has to make sure that you're okay with. Okay, so that's why we're here, right?
I guess.
Okay, but if you didn't want to be here, you wouldn't be here.
No,
And I
I
think that
wouldn't.
that's a strength of yours, that you are definitely here to try to work some of these things out.
Yeah, 'cause I don't want to leave my grandma's house. I love it. I love staying there. I don't want to leave.
Right, and I know that your grandma loves you being there, and you guys love each other. We have been down this road before, and you guys had did such a good job and had made so much progress. So we just trying to get back to, where you guys might have fell off at, and kind of get you guys back together, which y'all need to do.
But
Okay?
she does not follow what we decided was going to happen
Okay.
when I'm upset or we're arguing.
Okay. Well, that's part of treatment. That's part of a process of trying to figure out what went wrong and where you need to go from there. Okay. And again, this is why you both are here, because if you guys didn't want to be here, then y'all will be at another place. And I think the whole idea here is to make sure that we stabilize your home so that we can prevent you from going back into care. Okay, because this is something that causes you a lot of anxiety. It causes you
Yes, it
to,
makes me nervous. Like I've been with
yeah,
my grandma for 3 years now. That's the
hmm,
longest that I've ever been anywhere, and I don't want to go
absolutely.
back to before. But I don't understand why she has to keep threatening that.
Right, and we need to talk about that because that is definitely a trigger for you, one of the triggers that you have.
What's the trigger?
So a trigger is something that causes you some, it could cause you some anxiety, could be something that someone do, like you expressed that, your grandma doesn't give you your space when you're upset. So that can be a trigger for you that, when you get upset and you might want to go to your room or you might want to just go outside to cool off and she's not allowing that. Okay?
Yes.
So again, we're going to kind of talk about that. Like to talk to you a little bit about school. What's going on with school?
I mean, I'm doing good in school, A's and B's,
Hmm.
but the kids in there get on my nerves
Okay, and what's causing the kids to get on your nerves? What
because
is?
they won't give me my personal space. They're all over me, and I tell them that I need my personal space. Like I don't
Right.
like people in my space, and then that just causes me to get in fights with them.
Okay, so we're going to work on some things that will help you be able to process that kind of thing as well. And your medication management. I know that that's another issue that's of concern right
I mean, I take my medicine, but my grandma wants me to take more medicine,
now.
and I'm
Okay.
not doing it. I told her that I take enough. I'm not taking any more than what I take already.
Okay, so you're feeling a little concerned about the amount of medication that.
Yes, because I feel like all she wants me to do is be medicated.
Okay.
I'm not doing that. I feel fine with the amount of medicine that I take.
Okay, but you are taking your medication.
No, I take my medication.
Okay, so that's good. That's very good. So, Marla, a while back we kind of talked about some things, some solution focused things that kind of help you with coming up with some solutions to your problem versus we're trying to fix it. We gotta try to make things work out like a certain way. And you was doing it like with a journal before. Are you still writing in your journal?
Yeah, I still write in my journal.
Okay.
That's what I do when my grandma really, really pissed me off. I go in
Okay.
there and I write in my journal.
All right. So I think that you and grandma could benefit from some family therapy again. What do you think about that?
If that's going to keep her from keep telling me I have to leave, then sure.
Okay. Um, are you willing? I know you said that you might, but you think grandma is willing to come back and
I
visit
think
you?
she'd be okay with doing it.
Okay.
She loved to talk to people, so I'm sure she'll be okay with doing it. And she loved to say what I'm not doing, so.
Okay. Well, Marla, this is not like a thing of shift blaming. There's no right or wrong answers here. I just think that as a family, things just kind of went, in a different direction than we were at before. And that happens sometimes in therapy and life. So we just want to kind of get you guys back on track so that way y'all can get back to the things that, y'all were doing previously. And again, my job is to help you kind of learn different ways of thinking about the things you're doing. Like, for instance, you kind of keep talking about how grandma gets on your nerve and how you guys start arguing. So we want to kind of try to retract that. Like, if grandma is doing something that you may or may not like, a different way of thinking or a different way of doing things instead of becoming so argumentative with her. Okay?
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay. But I'm glad that you're at least willing to um, work at this because that shows that, you are ready to move forward and you do not want placement, right?
No, and then now her new thing is telling me she gonna call my mother. Why would
Okay.
she call my mother?
Right, because you and mom do not have a positive relationship right
Me and
now.
mom don't have a relationship at all. I
Okay.
don't even consider her my mother, but we
Okay.
don't have a relationship at all.
Are you ready to? I know that you don't have a relationship with your mother. Would you like a relationship with mom?
No, not until she ready to have a relationship with me.
Okay, so in order for that to occur, you know that both parties have to kind of want to meet at a mutual ground and probably want to do some type of family therapy or some type of intervention. So I don't know if you're ready for that right now.
No, she
Um,
needs therapy before we talk about having therapy together.
right. And that may be the case. But until we know for sure if that is something that needs to happen, then we might need to just kind of work through some things with you first, you and grandma first, and then we can kind of go back to revisit with mom when you're ready. Is that okay?
That's fine.
I think that we definitely need to see each other more. Um, for you to come in for sessions so that way we know what is going on and kind of help have you both talk about these things. You and grandma.
I mean, I can come here more. That's fine. It doesn't bother me to come.
Okay. Is it something you really want? Because the way your body language is telling me something different. So,
I
and
mean,
I want, and this
if
is
it's
all
going to
about
keep
you.
me in my grandma's house, then I'll do whatever I have to do to stay there.
Okay. But what about, and again, this is all about having another way of thinking. Not only that, if I behave a certain way, I'm going to be at my grandma's house. What about thinking about it like, you know what? I want this relationship to work with my grandma,
I do want it to work with
regardless.
my grandma. I
Right. But this is
mean,
the way I want you to start thinking again. Because, to me, you kind of, you know, uh, I'm going to act this certain way. And if this keeps me at my grandma's house, instead of thinking, you know what, I want this to work regardless. This is my grandma, and I also, this is my home.
right, this is my home, and
Right.
I do want it to work. So if coming to therapy and me and her talking about our issues is the way to uh keep things together
Mm-hmm.
and for things to work, then I'll do it.
Okay. You're smiling now.
Yes,
You feeling a little bit better?
I do.
Are
Well,
you?
I mean, grandmom came and she's taking me back, so that makes me feel better.
Yeah. And like I said, I spoke with your grandma, and your grandma loves you. Your grandmom has had real positive things to say about you. And her only concern was just, some of the things that we talked about earlier. But overall, your grandma, she loves you. She has all positive things to say about you, and she does not want you to go. So, I think that if we all come together and kind of talk about some of these things and kind of, come up with some solutions to some of these issues, then I think that we'll be able to get you guys back on track. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And like I said, I love the smile. I see that you have improved with your hair because the last time you were having issues and grandma said you're no longer doing that, you're no longer pulling at your hair.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what happened with that? Was you able
Well,
to?
me and my grandma argued about me sucking my thumb, so
Okay.
she's allowed me to go back to sucking my thumb
Okay.
when I'm upset.
So
So
you
I
kind of
don't.
using
Right.
the thumb sucking as a coping thing versus pulling out your hair.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, just to kind of go back over, so I understand what you're saying to me is that, your main issue here is that grandmom and you get into, arguments sometimes and her constant threatening to have you removed is causing you to have some of these issues that, you was having in the past. With school, you kind of feel like, people invading your space and not giving you that alone time that, that kind of is a trigger for you and it kind of makes you act a certain way. You are taking your medication, but you just kind of feel like grandma wants to increase and just wants you heavily medicated and you feel like what you're taking is enough.
Yeah.
You also feel that, you don't have a relationship with your mom right now and you feel as if grandma wants you to talk to her and you're not ready for a relationship with mom
No,
right
I'm
now.
not.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to recap so you see that I'm hearing what you're saying and I can really empathize of the things that you're going through. You're going through a lot. You're going through a lot, but some of your positives, you're still doing really well in school. You really want this to work with your grandma. And again, that you're here. You're here and you're willing to work at this. But for now, we want you to continue to write in your journal and just keep writing about some of the things that you can do to kind of talk to your grandma in a different way. When you're at school, think about some ways you can just, even if it's going to a teacher and saying, listen, I need a moment away from, a situation and learn how to walk away or some other things you can say instead of getting in fights and things like that. Okay. So,
Okay, Miss Kelly.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So, will I see you again, right?
Yes, I'll be here next week.
Next week. Okay. So, when you leave out, you can go ahead and get yourself scheduled, you and your grandma.
Okay.
And I thank you for today.
Thank you.
All right. See you later.
All right.